Before you watch this story, please do one simple thing. Don't just listen, listen carefully, pause when you need to, and speak the sentences out loud, because there is one big secret about learning English. Watching English is helpful, listening to English is helpful, reading English is helpful, but if you never speak, your English will stay inside your head. You may understand English when someone speaks to you, but when it is your turn to answer, you may suddenly forget everything. Have you ever experienced that? You know the words. You understand the question, but when you try to speak, nothing comes out. If this sounds familiar, today's story is for you. And please stay until the end because I will give you a simple English speaking challenge that you can start today. So, let's begin. My name is Daniel. I am 27 years old, and I live in a busy city. I work in a small office, I have a good job, good friends, and a happy family, but there was one thing I was not confident about English. My English was not terrible, I could understand simple conversations, I could read emails, I could watch English videos, but speaking was different. Whenever someone spoke English to me, I became nervous. Sometimes I knew exactly what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. My mind became completely empty. One morning, something embarrassing happened. I arrived at work early. My manager walked into the office and asked me, "Daniel, could you please explain this project to our new client?" I looked at him, then I looked at the client. I wanted to say, "Yes, of course. I'd be happy to explain it," but instead, I said, "Yes. Project. I explain." I stopped, I couldn't continue. The client smiled politely, my face became hot, I felt terrible. That evening, I went home and thought, why can't I speak English? I study English almost every day, I watch English videos, I learn new vocabulary, why am I still afraid to speak? I decided that I needed help. The next day, I talked to my friend Sam. Sam was very comfortable speaking English. I asked him, "Sam, how did you become so confident?" He smiled and asked, "Do you really want to know?" "Of course," I said. He said, "Then I have one question for you. How much English do you speak every day?" I thought about it. "Maybe 10 minutes, Sam laughed. "That's your problem." I was surprised. "What do you mean?" He explained. "You are spending too much time studying English and not enough time using English." I didn't understand. He continued. "Imagine you want to learn how to play football. You watch football matches every day. You watch players practice. You watch tutorials. But you never touch a football. Will you become a great football player?" "No," I said. "Exactly," Sam replied. "English is the same, you have to use it." His words changed the way I thought about English. Then he gave me a simple routine. He said, "Don't try to learn 50 new words every day. Instead, learn 5 useful sentences." I asked, "Why sentences?" "Because real conversations are made with sentences, not individual words." That made sense. He gave me 5 rules. Rule number 1, learn 5 useful sentences every day. For example, "I need some help." "Could you say that again?" "I'm not sure. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you." Rule number 2, say every sentence out loud. Not once, say it several times. Rule number 3, use the sentences in real situations. Talk to yourself, talk to your friends. Use them at work, use them when you go shopping, use them whenever you get a chance. Rule number 4, don't be afraid of mistakes. If you make a mistake, don't stop. Correct it and continue. And rule number 5, practice every day, even if you only have 10 minutes. 10 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a month. I looked at Sam and asked, "That's all?" He smiled, "That's all, but you have to actually do it." The next morning, I started. I stood in front of the mirror, I looked at myself and said, "Good morning, my name is Daniel, how are you today?" "I'm doing well, I'm ready for a new day." At first, I felt ridiculous, I was talking to myself in a mirror, but I continued. I repeated each sentence again and again, then I added more useful sentences. "Could you help me, please? Could you speak a little more slowly? I didn't understand that." "Could you explain it again? That sounds great, let me check, I'll call you later, thank you for your help." These were simple sentences. But they were useful, and that was the point. I didn't want difficult English, I wanted English that I could actually use. After 7 days, I noticed something, I was remembering sentences more easily. I didn't have to think so much before speaking. Then I started using English outside my home. One afternoon, I went to a coffee shop. The cashier asked, "What would you like?" Normally, I would become nervous, but this time I smiled and said, "I'd like a coffee, please." "Would you like anything else?" she asked. "No, thank you. That's all." "Anything to eat?" I looked at the menu and said, "Yes, I'd like a sandwich." It was a very small conversation, maybe 30 seconds. But for me, it was a huge victory. I walked out of the coffee shop feeling happy. I thought, wait, I just had a conversation in English, it wasn't perfect. But it didn't need to be perfect, I had spoken, and that was progress. But then something happened. A few days later, I met a foreign visitor near my office. He looked confused, he walked toward me and asked, "Excuse me, could you help me?" My heart started beating faster. He continued, "I'm trying to find the city museum." I knew where the museum was, but suddenly, I forgot the English words. I started saying, go there, then, I couldn't finish. The man looked confused. I felt embarrassed. I went home that evening feeling disappointed. I called Sam. "I failed today," I said. Sam asked, "What happened?" I explained everything. He listened quietly, then he said, "Daniel, you didn't fail." I didn't, no. "You tried to speak." "Yes." "You made mistakes." "Yes." "And what did you learn?" I thought for a moment. "I learned that I need more practice." Sam smiled. "Exactly. Every mistake shows you what you need to practice next." That sentence stayed in my mind. Every mistake shows you what to practice next. From that day, I stopped being afraid of mistakes. I created a new habit. Every night before going to bed, I spoke English for 10 minutes. Sometimes I talked about my day. For example, today I woke up at 7, I had breakfast, I went to work, I had a meeting. My manager gave me a new task. I came home at 6, I had dinner with my family. It was a busy day. These sentences were simple, but I was training my brain to think in English. I also started asking myself questions. What am I doing? What did I do today? What will I do tomorrow? What do I need to buy? What should I do this weekend? Then I answered the questions in English. Slowly, something changed. English stopped feeling like a school subject. It became part of my daily life. 1 month later, I had another opportunity. I was at a train station when a tourist approached me. He asked, "Excuse me, do you know where platform 3 is?" For 1 second, I felt nervous. Then I remembered what Sam had told me, "Don't wait for perfect English, just speak." I smiled and said, "Yes." "Go straight ahead, then take the stairs on your left. Platform 3 is next to the information desk." The tourist looked at me and said, "Thank you so much." I replied, "You're welcome. Have a great trip." He smiled and walked away. I stood there for a moment. I couldn't believe it. A month earlier, I couldn't finish one English sentence. Now I had just helped a stranger in English. That small conversation gave me enormous confidence. 3 months passed. I continued practicing. Some days were easy, some days were difficult, sometimes I made grammar mistakes, sometimes I forgot words. Sometimes I said something incorrectly, but I never stopped, and that was the biggest change. I finally understood something. Speaking English is not about knowing every word. It is not about having perfect grammar. It is not about speaking like a native speaker. It is about communicating. It is about having the courage to open your mouth and try. Today, I still make mistakes. But I'm no longer afraid of them, and if you are watching this video and thinking, my English is too weak, I am too old, I don't have enough time, I am afraid people will laugh at me. Please remember Daniel's story. You don't need to become fluent tomorrow, you just need to become a little better today. Learn 5 sentences, speak them, repeat them. Use them, and do it again tomorrow, then do it again the next day. Small practice creates big change. Now I want to give you a challenge. Don't close this video yet, choose 5 sentences from this story. For example, I need some help, could you say that again? I'm not sure. Let me think about it, I'll get back to you. Now say each sentence out loud 10 times, not in your head, say it with your voice. Then tomorrow, try to use at least one of those sentences in a real conversation. And here is an even better challenge. Come back to this video tomorrow and practice again. If you do this every day, your English will slowly become easier. Remember, don't just watch English, speak English. Don't just learn English. Use English. Don't wait until your English is perfect. Start with the English you know today. Your first conversation may not be perfect. Your first sentence may have mistakes. Your first attempt may feel uncomfortable. That's okay. Every confident English speaker was once a beginner. The difference is that they kept practicing. So start today. Your English speaking journey doesn't begin when your English becomes perfect. It begins when you decide to speak. Thank you for watching until the end. If this story helped you, subscribe to the channel because we will continue learning English through simple stories, useful conversations, and daily speaking practice. And remember one final sentence, practice a little every day, and one day you'll realize how far you've come. See you in the next story.